This is the Wikipedia page for the radio wave, seeing the world in radio waves. Now, look at this. This is interesting. This is why I chose to do a clip on this real quick. I like this animation here over in the right corner. Animation of a half wave dipole antenna radiating radio waves showing the electric field lines. The antenna in the center is two vertical metal rods connected to a radio transmitter. It's not shown. The transmitter applies an alternating electric current to the rods, which charges them alternately, positive and negative. Loops of electric field leave the antenna and travel away at the speed of light. These are the radio waves in this animation. The action is shown slowed down tremendously. But this is nice. I like this little. Y'all give Wikipedia a donation. They've been asking for them. And this stuff like that, we need to get on. Hold on. And just imagine this, guys. These radio waves is how your phone operates, how your cell phone transmits data, your emails, your phone calls, your whole voice wave pattern stored in ones and zeros and transmitted over radio wave signal to another tower where it's decrypted and sent, broke down and sent to your phone, where you can hear, read the data. Don't forget the sun and the planets, they all have radio waves, signals, and electromagnetic waves that permeates and propagates from their body. These are physical beings, living beings, the sun, the planet. And these scientists, they won't recognize it. And that's why they're missing out. And that's why I can point out what I'm pointing out, what they are pointing out, but they are not. I don't know if they don't want to admit it. It's too. The sun doesn't. It's not a conscious being. The sun's not a living being. It's just a ball of gas. They thought it was. They claimed it was. Now they know it's not. Now they want to say it's liquid, but it has lattices, meaning there's matter, there's a form to it. So what is it? They'll never know what it is because it's the supreme being spirit, one of the Ra, that makes things out of the blackness of this space. Ka. And that's why you can't deny the sun when it sends its radio wave signals to you and all the life on this earth. You know? Look what it is. Radio waves are a type of electromagnetic radiation with the longest wavelengths in the electromagnetic spectrum, typically with frequencies of 300 gigahertz and below. At 300 gigahertz, the corresponding wavelength is 1 millimeter, which is shorter than the diameter of a grain of rice. At 30 hertz, the corresponding wavelength is minus 10,000 kilometers, 6,200 miles, which is longer than the radius of the Earth. Wavelength of a radio wave is inversely proportional to its frequency because its velocity is constant. Like all electromagnetic waves, radio waves in a vacuum travel at the speed of light. And in the Earth's atmosphere at a slightly slower speed, radio waves are generated by charged particles undergoing acceleration, such as time-varying electric currents. Naturally occurring radio waves are emitted by lightning and astronomical objects, and are a part of the black body radiation emitted by all warm objects. See, this is Ra. This is Ra, the almighty Ra that ignites every living being spirit. Okay? This is the proof that you are the supreme being. And refraction of this astronomical object emitting this radio wave thing. Black body radiation is what they want to call it. Black body. What is a black body? Just understand what the blackness of space is. The black god Asar came out of the blackness of space. Okay? The Almighty One is the blackness, is the Ra, is all and above. So, the Supreme wants to split itself into these phenomena so that it can be seen, that it can exist, that it can experience all there is to experience. It split itself into Ka, Ra, feminine, masculine, and the various other dualities. And you can't deny the duality. The up, the down, the right, the left, the soft, the hard, the wet, the dry, the dead, the alive. You can't deny it. It is what it is. It is the only way things can exist outside of the supreme. All other things, it is the supreme. And if it was just the supreme, it would be one single. It'd be nothingness and all at the same time. And that's the paradox unsolvable to someone within the supreme. So now you need not to think about these things. Radio waves are generated artificially, just like we got light bulbs generating light artificially. But nothing is truly artificial. Nothing is truly artificial. Just be under that clear understanding, overstanding, understanding, whichever standing you want to have. The cube standing, you got all those standing by three. Radio waves, how could it be artificial? It's being brought up by a source that is there, that does exist. Okay, we understand what artificial means, but let's get a clear understanding, understanding, overstanding. You understand what I'm saying? Because we can't let the word rule us. We rule the words. Understanding that artificially, it's some type of man made, man manipulated. But those radio waves exist because the supreme laws are what they are. And just because you can create a life source. See, it takes life to create life. So we, as the supreme ones, creating this so-called artificially, it's a God's showing you examples of what is these laws. That's all. We're showing you examples, demonstrating the laws. So when we do something artificially, it's just us, the gods, demonstrating the laws of the rule of the universe, the reality, the universe, whatever you want to call it. So we've understand radio waves are very widely used in modern. We already know that. That's all we need to know about these radio wave discovery and exploitation. Let's see. Radio wave was first predicted by the theory of electromagnetism proposed in 1867 by Scottish mathematician and physicist James Clerk Maxwell. His mathematical theory, now called Maxwell's equations, predicted that a coupled electric and magnetic field could travel through space as an electromagnetic wave. Maxwell proposed that light consisted of electromagnetic waves of various short wavelengths. In 1887, German physicist Heinrich Hertz demonstrated that the reality of Maxwell's electromagnetic waves by experimentally generating radio waves in this laboratory, showing that they exhibited the same wave properties as light, standing waves, refraction, diffraction, and polarization. Italian inventor Guglielmo Marconi developed the first practical radio transmitters and receivers around 1894 and 1895. Now they said the first practical, but we know that they had radios in the Civil War, 1850 issues, 1840 issues. But they said the practical radio, meaning that's when they allow radios to be commercial and people to have them. He received the 1909 Nobel Prize in Physics for his radio work. Radio communication began to be used commercially around 1900. See, 1900. 1894. No. You don't think the military had that already? The modern term radio wave replaced the original name Hertzian wave around 1912. Maybe. See, this is what makes me wonder now about how truly we've been given advancements in science, and these people who were made in the Garden of Eden is periodically given certain technologies through these bloodlines, particularly the Germans, because I've noticed if you go look up the 411 Missing by Dave Pilates, there's a German descent being snatched up pretty regularly, and there seems to be looking for the smart ones, the astrophysicists, the the biologists. All these super smart Germans are being snatched up, disappeared, and without a trace. Why is this? Why is this? This generation and reception. Interesting. I love these diagrams. Radio waves are radiated by charged particles when they are accelerated. Natural sources of radio waves include radio nodes produced by lightning and other natural processes in the Earth's atmosphere. So we're going to call that radio noise. But what we're transmitting all over the planet isn't noise. First of all, lightning are living beings that live short with much power, and they emit these. They're speaking. They got messages and those sounds that's being emitted. So next time, you might want to record those radio waves and decipher the message. Okay, these are living beings, nature spirits. Okay, and radio waves, radiated charged particles, celebrating that blah, blah, blah. Same for the sun. See, Earth atmosphere, the atmosphere, and astronomical radio sources in space, such as the sun, galaxies, and nebulas. These are proof that these are living beings. All warm objects radiate high frequency radio waves as part of their black body radiation. Man, listen. So I understand we are the sun people, and I'm not mad if you call yourself the black man. Yeah, we're not black. We're not. Now this argument. We're not black. We're not black. We're Indian. We're African. Why are we arguing at each other over those Webster dictionary terms? Just be honest with yourself. Why are we arguing over ourselves over these Webster dictionary terms? He who made the meaning of your words is your ruler. I'm just being honest. Okay, we can use it as a guide, but we're not going to use it to beat us up, beat each other up. And let's find the truth. Be on truth side, not on my side, not on your side, not on his side, not on her side, not on your mama's side, not on your grandmama's side. You heard me? I'm on the truth side. and we're gonna find the truth. You feel me? So it's the black body. We're all from the blackness of space. So I don't mind you calling yourself black. Black, all colors come from black. They said I had a teacher mad at, oh, it means you're dead. It means absence of color. Those are Webster's dictionary meanings. Who cares what they labeled it? We do know space is black. We do know the blackest Africans of the black skin tribe are there. And it did seem that most people come from black. We know the black soils of the earth. We know of black matter or dark matter. So what are we mad about for saying we're black? We're mad. We're not black. We're not black. Hey man, get the fuck out of here. We're letting Webster's dictionary rule us. Stop it. These are the radio waves from the sun. Pay attention. They have messages for you. You understand how inventions, thoughts, music, all these creations of art comes available? Is those downloads? They want to call them download. Now, okay, call them download. I'm not allowing Webster to rule me. Okay, even though I know download is truly where a certain entity want to take it, so it can have control in a little cubic domain. You can have this whole program, your whole network of your brain, and download it in its server, so you can live by their digital rules and trapped in their digital. Okay, yeah. If you think you're trapped in the matrix, well, guess what? You could be trapped in matrix in a matrix in a matrix. Because, like I said, if you allow them to neural network your brain, download you into their little database, and now you're trapped in their matrix. But you're already in the matrix. So how far is it gonna go? Please, man. Pay attention to the radio waves of the earth and the sun and the trees and the nature spirits that speak. They're speaking to you. And you could die. Your brain is a transmitter that can receive those messages. That's why you don't. Well, hold on. Let me say that again. That's why 99% of your thoughts are not your thoughts until you decide to focus the brain on something and analyze the messages you're getting. That is you, not the thoughts. The thoughts are transmissions from all these radio wave signals from about. Either they're natural from the nature spirits, the sun, the earth, or they're man-made, artificial. Okay, but they might speak to you, or they might be other beings that whisper to you. There's so many of them. The only true way to know is not to care about none of the thoughts, because they're not yours. When they come in your mind, if they're good and they don't cause hurt, and then okay, you can entertain that thought. If it's one that is a silly one, cause hurt, pain, it's just a meaningless thought. Don't allow the thoughts to puppeteer you around. Because if you think because you had that thought you should feel that way, you're wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. You're gonna be feeling sad all the fucking time. A little bit of happiness, and then they're gonna drag your ass down because they got you puppeting around. You're not supposed to feel about none of this bullshit. Comfortability. That's the trueness hurt. If you're comfortable, of course, you should be happy. You ain't hurting, you're not painful, you're not hungry. You feel me? Now a lot of times you make your comfort too much. You want this and you want that, and that's the only way you comfortable. Okay, then you better tighten that up. That's a whole nother topic. Radio waves are produced artificially by time varying electric currents consisting of electrons flowing back and forth in a specific shaped metal conductor called an antenna. An electronic device called a radio transmitter applies oscillating electric current to the antenna, and the antenna radiates the power as radio wave. Radio waves are received by another antenna attached to a radio receiver. When the radio waves strike the receiving antenna, they push the electrons in the metal back and forth, creating tiny oscillating currents, which are detected by the receiver. From quantum mechanics, like other electromagnetic radiation such as light, radio waves can alternatively be regarded as streams of uncharged elementary particles called photons. In an antenna transmitting radio waves, the electrons in the antenna emit the energy in discrete packets called radio photons, while in the receiver antenna, the electrons absorb the energy as radio photons. An antenna is a coherent emitter of photons, like a laser, so the radio photons are all in phase. However, from Planck's relation, E equals hv, the energy of an individual radio photon is extremely small, from 10 to the negative 22 to 10 to the negative 30 joules, so the antenna of even a very low power transmitter emits enormous numbers of photons per second. Therefore, except for certain molecular electron transition processes such as atoms and a maser emitting microwave photon, radio wave emissions and absorption is usually regarded as a continuous classic process governed by Maxwell equation. Man, listen, I love these equations. Polarization. It's so much. We got the surface of it pretty good. That's why we are on the phone, cell phones now. But think about it. They've gotten from just talking on the radio, regular old fashioned radio, to transmitting this on cell phones on a device in your hand. Man, listen, they are being handed down, and it takes some time to develop the technology. And when they get it, they're gonna let the military complexes utilize it first, and they usually use it in wars first. You notice that now? I just thought about that. And you know what? The rest of this is just a clip for a video I'm making, but I'm gonna actually let this go as a 25-minute short. Imagine that, 25 minutes short on this radio wave topic by itself. I went on about it, and I didn't mean to do that, but I'm gonna cut. You're gonna see part of this cut up in this thing I'm doing about the sun is a living being. Okay, and if this don't help you understand, this is very strong evidence towards it being a living being, because it's emitting these radiation from their black body, all warm objects, which are usually considered organic, emits like a black body radiation. So obviously these astronomical bodies are living beings. Now we might not understand the living beings and so on, and because they're gigantic, but we don't understand the microscopic little beings so much so either. Okay, but we know they are alive. We even question, is a virus alive? Are these cells alive? Do they have? We're realizing they have their own individual personalities. Even though they got the program and they know, okay, this is a cell in the body, I gotta go and make a toe eventually. But that same cell can be, manipulated to do other things. But by itself, it it has its own personality. But I'm gonna chop this part up now, because I'm gonna run on forever. Propagation and characteristics. I want to get into this more deep. I'm probably gonna do more deeper dive into this. Okay, this was originally a clip, so it's been 5 minutes long. I'm sorry.